What's up, f***ers? Guess what? It's Seabee Sunday, which means we're going to talk about Seabee shit. And we're going to talk about what's in the news today. All right? Like I said, we're going to get to a lot of things. In fact, I'll give you a little hint. Next week, we're going to talk about UCT, Underwater Construction Team. We're going to go a little bit over that. One from my UCT guys, if any of you are around. I have a really good friend. One of my best friends is UCT on the West Coast. Wonderful, beautiful boy, Kennedy. But anyway, we'll get to that episode on that episode. But today we're going to talk about what's in the news for Seabees. All right, and let's just get right at it, frankly, okay? Because I got some interesting opinions here. So the first one is NCF looks to the future with cold form steel fabrication. I was not a fan of this. This actually, well, let me read through a couple of the highlighted portions, all right? And I encourage you to read, go look this article up. But Seabees from Naval Construction Group NCG2 and NCG1 participated in a 2-week course on the Cold Form Steel Mobile Factory, CFSMF, at the Contingency Construction Crew Training CCT facility on board Naval Construction Battalion Center, Gulfport, Mississippi. Guess where your boy just got retired out of? CCT at Gulfport, Mississippi. So shout out to you guys there that are there right now. I miss you. Quite a few of you guys I went to battalion with. And it's just, man, those officers were the best officers I've ever been. If you're a CB and you're a project speed dude, CCT all the way for your short duty, do it. So anyway, the main point of this article, right, is for a CB, in my mind, is cold formed steel versus SWA. Now this applies to all Bs, but really, in my opinion, builders, BUs, okay? Because, we're Seabees, we build SWA huts, we build C huts. That's kind of our thing, when it comes to like a little barracks. And now I guess they're going to go to a cold form steel. So that's where we're at. Let's keep going. The origins of the cold form steel frame technique is traced back to NMCB-1's deployment to Okinawa, Japan. NMCB-1 is stationed out of, in Okinawa, Japan? When did 1 go? Oh, in 2014, I guess. I don't know. Either way, NMCB-1 is stationed right next to us. I had some confusion because you got 3, 4, and 5 in California. 133, 11, and 1 are in Gulfport. It's just confusing because they're one digit, like 1. So I don't know why they're with us, but they are 3 and 3 battalions. But yeah, so that's interesting. Okinawa, Japan, and it looks like the battle rhythm. I can't remember. I just read it. I don't know the word, guys. Put it in the comments, Seabees, right? The word. We're changing the, not force protection plan, the battle rhythm, the force design. I think it's force design. Anyway, that's changing, and I guess East Coast Bs, our deployments are going to stay the same, I think, but our home ports are going to get elongated. That's nice. Could have done it when I was in, but anyway, the most recent training course was held at CCT, took 14 Seabees from NCG2 and NCG1 through a classroom curriculum and a practical application phase. So this is pretty cool because, this must have happened this was written in June, I think, but this class, really, the one that I'm talking about and the one that I think they're talking about happened in like February, March timeframe, because I was there. I actually walked out of there. And I talked with, what's his name? Senior, he was in charge. He's left now. It's Senior V now. But it was Senior, I can't remember his name. And I can't believe it. He's going to be so mad that I didn't remember his name. I was only there for several months, honestly, applicable, like doing stuff. But I was going to do, and we'll get to this at the end of the conversation or the end of the video today, but I was going to do some 3D renders for the cold form steel for this project, for this class, et cetera, et cetera. I had already done it for the SWA hut, and I'll put some photos up here in a minute when I get to that point. But yeah, I was actually there and already talking to my peers, and I think Hedman was there. when I was talking, so shout out to B1 Headman if he's still B1, might be a chief. I think Wagner is a chief now, and we'll get to Wagner. He's mentioned in this article. He's a great BU and was a phenomenal kingpin at NCG2, Triple CT. But yeah, dude, it was happening. This class was happening while I was there at group, and I already was talking about it. I was infuriated that there was discussions, and the discussion in general was, you know, we're going to move away from working with wood and doing SWA huts and C huts, and we're going to start working with this cold rolled steel, form steel, whatever. I can't even say it right, but we're going to move to that, and I immediately saw issues, and we'll get to those now here in a minute. Let me finish this. It's very short. Someone who is not familiar with the construction process may ask what advantages cold formed steel has over traditional framing methods the Seabees have used for more than 75 years. That's me. I'm that someone. So anyway, supposedly it helps overcome the lack of material availability, high costs, or a wide logistics footprint for the latter. Plywood and other materials for framing take up a lot of space when embarked, and the elements can easily damage the wood. One of the students who went through the training at group second, NCG2, is B1 Jonathan Wagner, who's at NMCB 11. I was at that battalion, and I think he was previously too, but I don't know, 11 just is stacked right now. I've never been to 133, obviously, or 1, but all these kingpins, dude, that are in the it just seems like they all go to 11, at least the last couple years. I couldn't believe who was going to group and then back to 11. 11 was just stacked. So 11, you've got no excuse. You better be on point. Keep getting that battle E. I think we got it twice while I was in. I believe with the right application, these machines can immensely improve our capabilities across the world, Wagner said. And I think you're right, Wagner. I do. But you said it right there. I believe with the right application, the metal structures have a longer life expectancy as well as being significantly more durable. I don't know about significantly more durable, right? Because it's all sheet metal. Like wood, I think wood is going to have a lot better chance, and I'm not saying it's going to make a difference, but I just think like at a basic fundamental level, wood has a better chance of stopping, you know, thick wood, 2x4 is better at stopping a a small round, as opposed to literally how many millimeters, you know, what gauge steel. Just saying, when we come to durability, it might last longer, I agree, you know, whatever, galvanized and but anyway, that's pretty much the gist. Lastly, I'm going to say NCG's purpose for you new guys coming in, right? And you'll need to know this, and you'll know this when you start doing SKUs and but pretty much you're going to be at your battalion or your small command, and then you got daddy command, you know, your parent command, which directly is going to be a group, a naval construction group. Maybe somewhere else there'll be something else like a task force across seas and stuff, but at home it's construction groups. So the mission of Naval Construction Group 2 is to organize, man, train, maintain, and equip NCRs, which are Naval Construction Regiments, Naval Mobile Construction Battalions, NMCBs, where most of you guys are probably at, the Construction Battalion Maintenance Units, CBMUs, and Underwater Construction Team, UCT, which we'll talk about next Sunday, to provide supported commanders with expeditionary engineering forces capable of engineering and construction and limited combat engineering across the full range of military operations. So that's their first that we're going to talk. And now I'm going to tell you my opinion and what I was saying while I was in and what I'm still saying. I think that's a great idea. I think always let's improve and add our, build on our assets, or TOA, table of allowance. Let's add it in. I think Wagner said it right, the right application. So if we're going to go overseas, right, and it's a lot easier to send a roll like K-span steel. I don't know how these things work necessarily, but like a K-span, you do UBM, ultimate building machine, and a K-span is one of those just semi-circled long barracks. It's probably what you think barracks in your head growing up. It's like, oh, those barracks over there, which is a K-span. You know, those are real functional, real compact, and you can make things, pretty much little mini warehouses or whatever, structures out of it, and it's real compact. And I think that's great for, if we can do that with, equating that to a SWA hut or a C hut, this new cold rolled steel form. However, let me put a little, and I'm talking to you, NECC, and CTF, all you guys up high. I want this to get to you, and I'm not being rude. I'm saying have you guys talked about this? and don't be a f***ing cunt about it and say, oh, you think we don't talk about that little enlisted boy? Dude, how many times I sat in meetings you guys didn't know what the f*** we're doing? Anyway, other Seabees can relate to that. My point being is, let's put this in a practical situation, right? Say we go to war with China, because that's what we're preparing for, right? Even East Coast Bees are going to Japan, here shortly. We're pulling out of Europe, essentially. Nobody's afraid of Russia. We don't got no beef, really, okay, with Russia. China is our big boy, bad enemy. It's been like that for the last 6 years. If you've been enlisted into the military, that's what you've been taught. So anyway, we're headed that way. Say we do go on a full-scale war. Obviously, we can talk about what kind of war. No, we're not going to be on ground with tanks anymore. Infantry's not really applicable. It's all technology, cyber, and airstrikes. Okay, cool. Regardless, for Seabees, you're put on an island. You're put on an island in the Pacific because we got to create a FOB out there. So what's going on? The Marines are coming in 2 weeks. You're there. There's a company there, and you're responsible for building 6 of these cold rolled steel form, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Let's say you got the material. Logistics-wise, are we taking it with ourselves and our own, like with our man? That's a real question because, okay, easy day, then we'll have it. We're not going to be at the island without it. However, are we going to have, other units, other Navy sailors bringing us our logistics? Say it doesn't work out, okay? It's not that boat gets blown up with our material, regardless if it's wood or not. Say that's, they're shipping that and we're there. We've been there for a week, sleeping in our teacups and prepping the site as best we can, by man. What happens when that goes down, that system? Even if we have it, that's the thing. What happens if that system goes down, the machine up and breaks? Because I'll tell you what, man, I built computers on the side and goes awry. One little hard drive goes wrong, one sensor relay component breaks, it's over. The whole thing is done. So let's say that happens. Oh no, and it happens all the time, dude. Alpha Company can attest to to this. It's breaks. Things are on deadline. Let's say it's deadline. What do your Seabees do? You got a battalion of Marines or a company or a platoon of Marines coming in 5 days. They need somewhere to sleep. You were tasked, Seabees, to build it. What are you going to do? If you're pulling out of the wood, if you're pulling out of the, and we already have an issue here because the Marine Engineering Battalion does this. It's called pioneering. They have a pioneer team where they take down trees, they cut lumber to size, and we don't really do that in the Seabees, and it needs to be a team. Just like every home port, we have a team, a well water team. We used to, CSE, I think it was, right? Is it CSE? I don't remember. I think so. Security element, yeah. Convoy security element, CSE, which they don't do either anyway. I think well water went to the reserves. But all these things, right? We should have a team that does pioneering, which is simply felling trees, dropping them, cleaning them up, having a portable sawmill, and cutting things to lumber. So we have it on site. I cannot stand, and as much as you can argue for this cold form steel, which is gonna up, I promise you, you could have the same exact initiative and org design for a combat pioneering CB team, where we create all our own material, other than plywood, which obviously for obvious reasons we can't produce out there, but we can easily do clapboard siding, with a sawmill, or just rough timber like a bunker, swahut it. But my point being is, and this is where it really gets to, this is the problem, is when I was there talking at Triple CT and we were talking about this over lunch, I said, so what, are we getting rid of swahut and chhut, like classes and like teaching builders? And they're like, well, we don't know. They're thinking about it. Are you crazy? I mean, we have hammers on us all the time. You got a hammer in a rifle and a pistol. So you're going to tell me you're going to take away the one thing that a builder should 100% have other than his weapon, the hammer, and say, no, we don't use those anymore. You use drills and cold roll steel. In that situation, if you had the pioneering team, and let's say that this COA, course of action, fell through, then what you can do is say, all right, Seabees, can we still do it? Absolutely, can do, sir. We build, we fight. All right, Howie, and I said this on Vex. All right, Howie, get that chainsaw, dude. Go and start felling those palm trees. We're going to do our best, but we're going to mill them down. We're going to create some swahuts. Okay, got it. And there you got a COA because your other COA fell through the roof. So maybe that's all in works. Obviously, it's a new thing, and these things need to be addressed. But here's one for you guys up top. Okay, think about that. I'm not saying take away this not ultimate building machine, but this CFSMF, factory. I'm not saying take that away or don't implement it, but do not take away SWA huts and C huts. Do not take away that basic training, the fundamentals of building, nailing, wood, all that shit. Because if you start giving it to a computer, you're making us more retarded, and God knows that Seabees need to, we cannot be more retarded. We already are almost at maximum, capacity retard. We don't need that. We need to keep what we can. So that's my words on that. We're gonna keep moving on. But NCF, listen, dude, look to the future. Look to the future using this shit. But don't yourself over by saying, all right, Seabees, you don't build anymore, okay? Because our motto is can do. And if this shit falls through, guess what I'm gonna do? Guess what my team, my squad was gonna do, or my projects team was gonna do? We were gonna look at you, and this happened on my last fax, and we're gonna go, don't worry about it, sir. Don't worry about it, senior. We got you. We'll make it happen. This is our COA. Approved or not? Approved, cool. And it worked out. So I think that's it. Really, look to the future, implement it. However, do not take away what we already know and what we already have known for 75 years. It's worked, dude. It just has. So that's there. All right, don't worry, guys. They're not all this long. It's just I had a lot to say, and I still have a lot to say about this. So Seabees, especially leadership, reach out, man. Reach out if you give a because I think there's a lot to be discussed there. And don't ever mistaken yourself and be too proud. You're Seabees, you're enlisted Seabees, you're third classes, even your non-rates, they have some good advice. So don't ever bring that down. Next in the news, NMCB 11 changes command. Dude, this just happened in Rota. They're about to come home now, but it happened in June. And actually, it was Commander Benjamin Waite. Commander Waite was relieved by a guy named Commander Angerman. That's a name, right? Anyway, shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you, Commander Waite. It's been a minute. Actually, shout out to my boy, Master Chief Kellogg. A lot of people hated him. A lot of people loved him. I had a really good experience with you. Master Chief, you actually were a big part of making me feel comfortable with what was going on in my retirement and my health issues. So, I really appreciate you and taking that walk in Norway, dude, where we went on that hike and our whole detail went. But Kellogg stayed back with me because we were more of the low speed. What the are we going to put out for on this? We're not competitive like that. We're Senior Soothheimer, and the rest of them were, I guess, Master Chief Soothheimer, and the rest of them were the real competitive. You really helped me out there mentally, so I appreciate that, Master Chief Kellogg. But anyway, yeah, Commander Waite was a great commander, real chill. And I'll say this, dude, he had, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, he imported a Suzuki Samurai, and it was like mint condition. That thing was so fucking cool. And you knew he was there because he would drive it all the time to work and park in his spacing, obviously. But dude, it was like a tan little Suzuki Samurai, and that thing was mint. Beautiful. I loved it. So just a quick announcement there. I guess NMCB 11. Look at us, dude. In the news 11 constantly. So that's cool. Commander Wade, I hope you do good. Commander Angerman, NMCB 11 is big shit, dude. It's big shit. So make sure you on your game. And lastly, and this is interesting, Suda-Bay Seabees learn 3D printing skills, gives back to community during ComRail. All right, so I think that's awesome. I think as a Seabee, and I'm really not gonna read much of this, supposedly they made like over 70 specialized auxiliary objects with 3D printers. They were assistive objects for people with disabilities, so I'm assuming like arms and legs and stuff like that, so that's pretty rad. And I think anytime you have an opportunity, Seabees, bro, to make connections, to network, and to learn new skills or new experiences, take advantage of it, dude. That is your top dog advice that I would say is, again, going back to my last video, you need to be a well-rounded Seabee, dude. And not even just a Seabee. For my viewers who are watching that aren't Seabees or are going to be Seabees, you need to be a well-rounded individual. So when you can be looked at and go, and people say, dude, that guy, he is an all-out, ask him, he probably knows. He's probably done it, he's probably seen it, he's probably dealt with it. Be humble about it, always be humble, okay? Nobody's gonna approach a piece of shit. But always be humble and always take advantage of those, dude, because one, you're not gonna get the same advantages on opportunities outside the military, Seabees. I mean military in general, but Seabees, bro. The amount of shit I was able to do, and now I'm in the middle of West Virginia, bro, it's over. Like, I don't have a lot of opportunities anymore like that, so Take advantage of them. But what I'm going to say to this, dude, and this happened in Greece, is I think it's cool. And again, this is another suggestion for my top dogs, Big Daddy Navy, NECC Seabees up there, up top, who makes decisions like this. Look into this, okay? We already deal with the Trimble system when it comes to our cease, okay? We already look at the Trimble system and utilize that for grading and all sorts of things when it comes to our cease. Trimble also owns a program called SketchUp, or I guess Trimble does or Google does, but Trimble's involved. SketchUp, it's a 3D modeling program. I started using this early in my career in the Seabees, and I'm telling you, it was a game changer. Senior Soothheimer, Master Chief, if it ever occurs to you to use it, dude, reach out, and whatever I have, whatever information I've got, sorry, the chickens are going wild. Well, whatever information I got, I'll send over, but I'm dead ass serious, dude. You know how difficult it is for some of these kids who've never been on a project to look at a blueprint and understand what he has to do. But when you've got a crew leader who is versed, you know, just novice understanding of SketchUp and understanding of blueprints, he can draw it. He can draw it in less than a week and have a whole 3D model, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That's how I used to teach my team and lead my crew, is exactly that, is by building them digitally. And I think that, honestly, guys, NECC group, really, you know, captain, whoever's there now, implement 3D modeling. Make it a course for Seabees. It's a perfect time right now to do this if we're going to have longer home ports. Okay, look into 3D modeling. I'll put some photos up right now of the SWA hut, of the timber bunker, even projects that were done, you know, across the world that I was asked to do renders of, because it's a phenomenal tool to present and to do, you know, your presentations for your commander, for your captains, for your crew. I promise you, dude, it's a game changer. And if you've been on a project with me, or you've seen my work when it comes to the SWA hut, or any project that you've done or you were with me on, and you saw one of my renders, talk about it. Mention how helpful it was, because that, dude, I promise you, if we get it to the right person in NECC and, you know, and NCG, or, you know, Naval Task Force, whoever it's going to be, NCF, it's a game changer, dude, and it's going to propel our Seabees understanding and quality and our scheduling. If you know what exactly you're doing before you go out there and do it, it's a game changer. Your project scheduling, you're not going to have any delays. You're not going to have reworks. In Ghana, in Morocco, they were building a shoot house and a tower, rappel tower, and I was catching problems by building it virtually, building it digitally. I was catching engineering problems that we would have done all the work, the footers, the rebar, the RST, and we would have got to the point of placing the pad, and we would have realized the engineers up on their slope, put in an RFI to stop all work. Now it's going to be 2 weeks before we do an RFI, or we get our RFI back. And then it's going to be a new 2 weeks when we do a FAR, a field adjustment request. Okay, then you wasted a month, and we're a month behind schedule because of a mistake that could have easily been caught, and it was when I digitally built it in 2022. So again, you know, whether it's going to be you, Master Chief Soothheimer, and it's your Master Chief now, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? Make this your game. I don't even have to be in it. Just for the sake of Seabees and helping them and helping you guys understand better, look into that shit. And even if you're an enlisted watching this right now, if you're a BU3, if you're a CE2 and you're on the crew leader, and it's like, I understand this, but my people don't, look into this shit. Look into SketchUp. Talk to BU2 Meckley. Talk to, I'm trying to find some, I can't think right now. Talk to BU2 Ansley. Talk to people that have worked with me and have done a little bit myself. BU2 Wenyan has done a whole project, I think home project by himself on it. Talk to these people, dude. It's a game changer. So if your leadership's not going to do anything about it, you guys up top aren't going to do anything about it, Seabees down below, implement it. Implement it. I promise you, it's a game changer. It will help you out. Okay, it will make it so much easier for you to explain and for your crew to do what they're supposed to do, know exactly what to do, and be confident in it. And it's going to make you look like a golden star, dude, to your superiors, to the chain, because they're going to see that you made that in 133, or in 1, or in 4 or 5, wherever you're at 3. You're going to create a you're gonna get your project package. You're gonna go, cool, here are the blueprints. I'm gonna digitally build this. I'm gonna do phase 1, which is kind of do the footers first. Then I'll do the walls next. Then I'll do the plumbing here. And you're gonna have it all digitally built, like digital blueprints, where you can look around and it's to scale. It's measured out. And when you go to present that to ops, you have your S3 meeting, and they want to talk to you, you can put it up on, and I did it before. I did it, and it was like, there was no discussion, dude. Big Dick walked into the room when I came in with my laptop. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but it's true, and I want you guys to be able to succeed as best as you can. Look into it, all right? I think that's cute and awesome that Seabees were doing that, 3D printing and whatnot. But dude, look into things that are gonna be way more applicable. 3D printing, I mean, we're never really, what the hell are we gonna 3D print? I don't know, that's in the future. But what we definitely can do right now is apply 3D modeling programs to our, NCG, our training, our group curriculum. Do it. Senior V, reach out, bro. Okay, anybody that has an inkling or has power up there, push it, especially you guys at group, all right? It's a game changer. Shout out to all my Seabees. I appreciate you guys sticking around for Seabee Land today. It was just news. I do want to implement some more fun things, interact with you guys, ask questions, talk about this. But also next week we will be talking about UCT, underwater construction team. So stick around for that, because that's cool. Because if you're a high-speed Seabee but you're not good enough to be SWIC or group, or SWIC, or a Navy SEAL, or you're a Buds Dud and you dropped out and became a Seabee, bro, UCT is pretty awesome. It's hardcore, it's intense. You're a diver, underwater construction, and talking to a buddy of mine, Kennedy, it seems like it's some badass deployments, and it's not any lesser. It's badass. It's badass. Definitely better than being a normal Seabee. You're pretty high speed. And in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I'll talk about this next week, but UDT originally was Seabees. Seabees were the first UDT, underwater demolition team, which is now Buds and DevGru, Navy SEALs. But of course that was way back then and with different guys and a whole different breed of Seabee. But yeah, so now it's not UDT, it's UCT, different team, right? And it's underwater construction team. So anyway, guys, wherever you're at, whether you're in Rota, whether you're in Okinawa, whether you're at Homeport, God bless you, dude. I love you. I hope you're doing great. And just remember, dude, you're a Seabee. You're a Seabee. Don't say. Oh, by the way, and I'll end it with this. Sailor, it says, oh, our sailors in Greece. No, our Seabees in Greece. I love you, U.S. Navy, but let the Seabees be Seabees. Don't call them a sailor. We don't sell all right? We don't do like that. We are Seabees. We're proud to be a part of the Navy, but we're not sailors, okay? We're dirt sailors. We're Seabees. Let us be Seabees. Lend us that. All right. This little baby boy has to go get some work done, so happy Seabee Sunday. And the plan is no plan, sir.